So far we've talked about the best Trackmaster sets, the worst Trackmaster sets, but we haven't talked about the best or worst Trackmaster engines, which arguably are the most important part of the entire Trackmaster Playrail range. Well, I think it's about time we finally change that. So today we're going to be taking a look at what I think are the top 5 best Trackmaster and Playrail engines. I feel like this goes without saying, but keep in mind these are just my opinions. Feel free to agree or disagree in the comments. There's a chance none of these may be in your top 5. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting with number 5, Boko. Now, Boko first released in 1998, on the 22nd of May, and has been made by many different ranges, like Playrail, Tomica World, Motor Road and Rail, Trackmaster Hit, Trackmaster Tomy, Trackmaster Fisher-Price. And throughout all of these, he stayed pretty much the same. And honestly, thank God, because they nailed him the first time. Proportionally, he may be a bit weird, but having a Boko on your Trackmaster Railway was always so fun. And if you put proportions aside, detail-wise, he's probably one of the best, lacking an accurate wheelbase like most Trackmasters do, but also having plenty of molded detail, even a British Railways emblem on his back. I think the biggest change this model saw was the face, which in later Trackmaster years would gain separately colored eyes, as well as the different wagons he would come with. For example, a blue brake car, or in the Playrail version, a troublesome truck and a tar tanker. But like I said before, the model has pretty much stayed the same, and that's really all it had to do. So that's why Boko ranks at number 5. He may have a few nitpicks, but altogether a beautiful model, and one I wish I didn't ruin as a kid. For number 4, we have Rocky, which came out in July of 2007, at least for Trackmaster. In this category, I'm also going to include the Percy and Rocky set made by Playrail, which first released in November of 2011, and re-released in July of 2012. Starting with the Playrail pack, not only did you get a surprised Percy, which is always fun, but a Rocky as well, albeit a unpowered one. This Rocky may lack a motor, but it definitely doesn't lack detail. And I always found the combination of these two so fun. It may not make a lot of sense, but we're also dealing with Trackmaster, and the best part about Trackmaster is it doesn't need to make sense. Switching back to the Trackmaster and Motor Road and Rail Rocky though, this Rocky actually did have a motor, as well as a front flatbed that is permanently attached to him just like the Playrail version. Except this Rocky also came with a back flatbed, so not only could this Rocky lift cargo, but also was quite a bit larger. When Trackmaster Tomy released him in 2008, it was unfortunately only in Europe, so Rocky is a pretty hard character to come upon. But of all of the memories I have of these Trackmaster toys, Rocky has always been a standout, so to not put him on this list just feels wrong, and that is why Rocky is at number 4. For number 3, we have the 2008 and 2009 releases of RC Percy. I guess for me, more specifically the 2009 one, since that's the one I had, and this Percy model was not only remote controlled, but also came with a blue coach that housed the battery, a controller that can play his whistle and theme, and a tired face, which is probably my favorite part. At this point in time, it was pretty uncommon to see Trackmasters with anything but a smile, so to see a Percy that looked exhausted was super unique. And no matter what layout I built, this Percy had to be there. I don't believe it was very fast, so sometimes he would cause an accident. But again, that's just part of the fun of Trackmaster, and the later releases of this toy hail in comparison to what once was. If you see the Trackmaster 2 RC Percy and see this, it should not be a competition. You all were robbed. But I had to stick this one at number 3, because there are 2 more items in the Trackmaster range that I think are a bit more iconic. Moving to our number 2 spot, keeping in line with the RC engines, is the Trackmaster 3-Speed James, which I feel like nobody's going to agree with. But truth be told, there was not a more nostalgic RC engine in my life ever than this one. This was released in 2011, and I've seen a lot of people critique these models, mainly because they have sparkly paintwork, as well as clouds on the side of them, so they don't really fit in with other engines. But in my opinion, that just makes him more unique, and altogether this model was a blast to play with. He could go forward in 3 different speeds, as well as reverse, said 3 different phrases, specifically full steam ahead, I must puff fast and mind my paintwork. Actually, that middle one sounds a little weird. I must puff fast. Yeah, I guess so. As well as came with 8 pieces of curved track. So getting this was like getting another smaller set. And while I don't know what happened to mine, sadly, I can't think of another Trackmaster James that was more fun or iconic. But with that being said, there is one Trackmaster item I would argue is more iconic than anything, And I feel like I'll get some of you guys back with this one. For number 1, we have Steam Thomas, released through PlayRail and Trackmaster Tomy. And Motor Road and Rail, you know what I'm talking about. The PlayRail version would come out in July of 2005, with the Trackmaster coming out in 2008. And if you didn't have this Thomas as a kid, you arguably didn't have a childhood. At least a proper one, sorry. You could get this Thomas in a water tower steam set, or just the Thomas alone. And using a dropper, you would put little bits of water in his funnel, and like the name suggests, Thomas would actually steam, with the funnel itself constantly blowing mists of cool water. I also believe there was a red light in the funnel itself, though I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've seen this thing, but everything about it was so fun. The metallic paintwork on the Thomas even made it feel special. Then add on the fact it actually steams pretty easily, moves quite a bit faster than the normal Trackmasters, and altogether is a pretty accurate and beautiful model. It's really hard to get past that, even with the nostalgia glasses on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been my top 5 Trackmaster items. It is almost 100% certain you do not agree with this list fully, so be sure to let me know your top 5 in the comments below, and maybe if we did agree on anything in this video. That aside, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe for even more train content. There's always more stuff on the way. And also let me know if you guys would like to see the inverse of this, maybe the worst Trackmaster engines. Well, I already made this, so I maybe have to. But with all of that being said, thanks again for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.